It is 16 minutes before 8 o'clock. This morning, we are continuing our series of reports, Caregiver Compass, helping senior citizens and their families who care for them. Yesterday, during this hour, we explained the financial resources available to older people and their families who can't afford maybe to pay their bills or buy food right now. Now we're focused on scammers who prey on the elderly and their vulnerability. Last year, for some perspective, older adults lost nearly $5 billion to some type of fraud. And the average victim of elder fraud loses at least $33,000. That's a lot of money. Money that a lot of older people just can't afford to lose, right? Bobby Fultz is a detective with the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office. He specializes in these types of investigations and is joining us this morning to help our senior citizens and the people who care for them. Good morning, Bobby. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Okay, I want to start with one because there is actually a scam that is circulating right now. It targets the elderly, but who are more likely to fall for it. But quite frankly, I mean, everybody should listen to this one. And it specifically involves a warrant scam. Would you explain how it works?
People receive text messages or calls, regarding that they have a warrant, for their arrest for whatever reason, and people get nervous about it, and the fraudsters will tell them, if you pay this fine, now we can take care of it, and they'll usually tell them to either buy gift cards or go to a Bitcoin ATM and deposit the funds into that in order to take care of the fine.
And so we've heard sometimes that this could be associated with like a jury scam where you miss jury duty and you're being threatened with an arrest.
Correct. Or
you have an unpaid traffic ticket and you're being threatened, that there is a warrant out for your arrest. So it's very similar. It's not just warrant arrest scam,
Right.
I mean, this is it. They
do this
different
things.
Okay, which is really important to point out. The other is that there are certain warning signs, right? Like this pressure tactic that
Right.
they use.
It's a high pressure. They want people to feel nervous, scared about it. They also never want to hang up the phone with you. If you tell them, let me hang up the phone, we'll call you back, and they don't want that. They want to stay on the phone with you the whole time, walk you through everything. That's a big red flag.
Yeah, because they don't want you to think about it.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And they know if you hang up.
Else.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the other part of this is then, of course, the payments, right? They're not asking directly out for necessarily cash, but cryptocurrency. Why that? Is it just because
it's harder to trace. Once it's out, they can move it anywhere they want in the world, and it's very hard to trace and track.
And in some of these cases, also when it comes to scams, they'll actually encourage them to use gold to pay.
Sometimes they'll even tell them, they'll have it for different parts of the scam. They'll have them go and buy gold and tell them it's going to be protected, and they'll also have a courier come pick it up. And usually when it's gone, that's gone. You can't track and trace it.
Okay, so will the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office, or quite frankly any department, ever go and arrest someone then for like missing jury duty?
We're not going to call somebody and tell them they're going to be arrested, and we're not going to tell them to pay a fine where else. If you're in trouble for any kind of thing and you have a warrant, then we'll go to the house, we'll knock on the door, find them, and arrest them, or tell them to turn herself in. But you'll go through the process. And then if there's any fines to pay or if fees to pay, it'll be through the court order. It won't be through the sheriff's office telling you to pay this or else.
Now, if this call comes on a phone, for example, or this kind of a scam, someone might be worried about hanging up because they think they're going to get into more trouble. Would you get into more trouble? If this were legitimate, would you get into more trouble if you hang up and then call the sheriff's office directly?
Not at all.
Right.
No.
Okay. So
you should always call and verify things, or have a deputy come by, an officer come by, whatever jurisdiction it is, to verify things. If you have it, then take care of it.
Okay. So when in doubt, hang up. Right, and then just call directly. Don't believe the phone number that they might give you.
Because it might be spoofed.
Right.
It might be our number, but it's called as a spoof number by somebody else.
Right, so which brings us to the next. I want to talk a little bit about tech support scams, and these typically then pop up on someone's computer.
Okay, yes, when they pop up on the computer and it'll have loud noises and flashing numbers and call this right away, don't do it. Unplug your computer, disconnect it, take it in to get it checked out, and it might not have a scam on there right now. Maybe it's something you just clicked on. It might not have a, not scam, but a malware or a virus on there, but get it checked out anyway. But basically don't call the number on the computer.
So I think that because my father almost fell for something like this also, and thankfully I was with him at the time when he was going to call this person and give him his information. I mean, but the question he had, of course, was, well, how would they know that this is my computer and I can't get into my computer? How do they know that I'm me and that I would fall for something like this?
Because it's just generally something you click on and it pops up on anybody's computer.
They don't know him. They don't know that he's older.
Right.
They don't know that he's had a stroke
They
and
take
has
a
cognitive
chance.
issues. They're just taking a chance.
Yeah, they send it to, they just send it out, and it's like the phone calls. They're random phone calls. They're sent out to thousands of people, and they just want to get that one person on the hook. They don't necessarily know who you are.
Okay, one other thing is text message scams. I think this is important too, because a lot of people, older people might think, well, it must be legitimate because it's coming on my cell phone and I only give my cell phone number out to my friends and family. So it must be somebody who knows me, and maybe there is, you know, some kind of fraud alert, you know, that I need to be aware of.
People should always know that your information's out there. Your phone numbers are out there in different places too. Whether you give them to keep it private or not, it's out there. And people will get that information. They might have information on you just enough to make you believe that they know what they're talking about, or they might just be randomly calling, generating these numbers and calling them and asking for whoever answers.
Yeah, it's important. And also, you mentioned a little bit about spoofing. I mean, they can take phone numbers that appear to come from a sheriff's office and make it appear that that is the person that is calling you when actually that's not the case. Correct. Bobby, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And I know that you have a full presentation that you offer to the public, particularly focused on senior citizens. It's called Fraud 101. It's a seminar that's being offered then by Bobby through the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office. It is next month on December 9th at 10:30 in the morning at the Ponte Vedra Beach Branch Library. Anybody can show up. It is a great way. Bring a loved one, bring someone older with you so that you can educate them to know what the red flags are so that you and someone you love does not end up losing money.